Welcome to Real Girl Talk. I am your host, Cherie Rickard. I empower women to stand in their purpose, to succeed despite the odds stacked against them, and to live their life knowing they're enough and worthy. Join me each week for powerful messages and interviews that will inspire you to create the life that you want. Now let's go. Hello there, my friends. It's Cherie Rickard, and I'm so glad to have you back listening to the podcast, Real Girl Talk. Thank you for being here. And to all my loyal listeners, I love you so much. And if you're new to the show, welcome, because you picked a great day to subscribe to Real Girl Talk. I am having a powerhouse. Do you hear me? Powerhouse on my show today. Elena Cardone, she started her career in Hollywood. She became a successful actress, model. She's been a lifelong competitive sports shooter. How impressive is that? And now she's an author of Building an Empire. She's a businesswoman, a public speaker, and she is truly building an empire of her own. And she is a visionary. I look up to her. She inspires me every day. She actually has her own show, Women in Power, and we're going to talk about that as well. And I know together, her and Grant Cardone, they have created a real estate portfolio of almost, listen to me when I tell you, almost 1 billion. Yes, that is a B, not an M, billion dollars. So tune in right now. Listen to Elena because she is going to teach you something, ladies, teach you something on how to build your own empire. Welcome to the show, Elena.
Thank you so much for having me. Wow, that introduction got my heart beating. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, girl. Well, you're a powerhouse. You need a powerhouse introduction, no doubt.
Thank you.
And I want you to tell us a little bit about your book because I just ordered your book and I probably should have waited for the 10X conference because I know they're all going to be signed, but I'll bring it with me. And you can sign it. So I just ordered your book, Building an Empire, and I can't wait to dive into it. Tell us a little bit about that book and what we can get as women from your book, Building an Empire.
Well, I wrote the book to empower anyone who wishes to think and wants to take on the challenge and be so bold as to think even in terms of empire. And I really put out everything that has worked for us, what has not worked for us, because I want to fast track everyone else's success. I want them to hit their targets faster than it took me. And when I was starting out, I didn't have a female role model to emulate, to say, what is the woman? I've always heard that expression. What is the woman behind the man? We've always heard it, but what do they actually do? And I realized a lot of people don't really understand what it is that I do and my contribution to the empire and the vision and whatnot. So I wrote this book for anyone interested in that aspect of it, but it is also for men as well, because this book is really about figuring out how to get on the same page as your partner.
Right.
And really working and operating as a coordinated team in order to hit goals and really big accomplishments that are worth happiness and greatness in life.
I love that because, I think so many times we as women, especially women with our type A personalities, okay? So, you and I will admit it, we'll put it out there. We have a type A personality. We're very dominant. But when we're married to a man that also has a domineering type A personality, people think that you're arguing when in fact, you're not really arguing. You're just so passionate about what you're doing that I think sometimes that people take it as you can't put two type A's together. And I totally disagree with that.
I completely disagree with that because even though we do have very passionate, heated interchanges at times because we both have really strong points of view, what we have talked about, and it's in the book as well, is the way that you can operate as A personalities together is you figure out what each of your strengths and weaknesses are. You figure out who is best at what, and you put that person in charge of that department, whether it's accounting, running the household, running whatever. You have to write the divisions of your board out. What are all of our functions as a couple together? I'm going to cover this. You're going to cover that. You're going to cover this. You're going to cover that. Now, I might have a very strong opinion about the business, but Grant runs the business. We just had a very strong opinion about something that I felt he made like not the wisest choice in the business. But at the end of the day, I have to step back and say, that was your decision. I trust you and I stand behind you no matter what. And the same thing with the household. If I'm running the household, he cannot bypass me and go behind my back and tell this person this order, that person that order, or do this with the kids when I've said that. That is my domain. So we do a really good job of letting each other be the general of our areas, and we don't bypass each other. We know our roles. Now, if an area has a misfunction or misfire, we know exactly who, hey, you have to step up your game here, there, because this is what's happening. Do you need a hand? Do you need help? But ultimately, we don't cross over. So we're not battling, especially in the beginning of our marriage. I had a lot of these preconceived and false ideas of this male-female thing. I wanted to be this independent woman. So I well, I'm not going to do that because I am a woman, and I am not doing that for you, because it was really weird. But once we got on the same purpose and the same page, and we were really able to work as a couple, it does not matter to me now. I will make a meal. I will do whatever I perceived was beneath me as a woman in order to achieve the mission of us as a couple first together. So I don't have those considerations. I almost became free in a way. And
I love that. I love that, because you know what? I think so many times women think we want to be independent, and you know, there's big talk today about I'm a feminist and I'm this, and I think the word feminist has been hijacked by some of the millennials, and nothing against the millennials. A lot of them are my listeners. I love you ladies, but I'm telling you right now, you need to listen to your elders, because when it comes to saying that you're a powerhouse and you can take over and you're independent and you can do things, but then you expect a man to step up in a certain role, maybe you expect him to step up and support you. When you truly can support yourself, then you're really not that powerhouse, because I believe that you can work in conjunction with one another, but you have to be able to survive without one another. If that happens, how many times, Elena, do we see divorce and women moving back in with their parents, or they're having to move in with a friend because they can't afford the house note, because they've been out of the workforce for so many years and they don't have anything to back them financially. And that's scary. I write that in my book. I have a chapter called Independence in my book, Strong Women, that talks about, hey, you can live a healthy, financial, successful lifestyle with your husband, but be able to stand on your own if you have to. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah, I believe you have to make yourself an asset, not only to yourself, but to your community and to your partner and to whatnot. And yes, in today's world, a woman should be able to stand on her own 2 feet, but also not be afraid to collaborate with her partner or husband, because look, we are strong. There is no doubt in my mind that women are the strong species, like internally. We're just powerhouses innately. That I just believe that. No diss to men, they are very strong too. But I feel like men are more powerful with a woman as well.
I do agree.
But also, look, you know, you can have the strength of the strongest person in the world, but if you have the strength of two, no matter what, is going to be stronger than you ever can be alone. That's what I learned. You know, and all this time I was trying to be independent and alone, and I can do it on my own. And yes, I proved that, and I can always land on my own 2 feet. But it wasn't until I got with a man, ironically, that I actually found my true power and true potential and strength as a woman. And it was the last place I thought I was going to find it. I never thought it was going to be a man that would help me become more powerful as a woman. But that is what happens when you do truly hook up and unite forces with someone. They have the ability, and the two of you together have the ability to more than just 1x your strength. You together have the ability to 100x your strength. Because if you have 100% from your partner and 100% of you, how much stronger is that than just you?
Right. And I agree. And you nailed it right there when you said 100% from you and 100% from your partner, because I truly believe it takes two. My husband he's such a supporter, and he's probably my biggest fan. And I don't know that I could continue to do everything that I do, from the corporate world to live in my passion work with writing and speaking and traveling and the show. I don't think I could do any of this if he just didn't support me. I think it would be a constant battle and pushback of the minds if he did not support me. And the same is true for him. I support everything that he does. I know just last weekend he called and I said, "Where are you?" And because he was in a hotel, and I said, "Where are you?" He said, "Oh, I'm in Plant City, Florida. I'm playing a softball game." I said, "Okay, that's cool." Because he's sponsored by Adidas, and he has to play certain games at certain times of the year. And I can't always follow his schedule, but I know that he knows that I'm going to support him no matter where he is, and whatever he's doing, whatever his endeavors are. And I think that's awesome that you and Grant are that way, because together you guys are truly a force. You really are.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. And the fact that he supports you and you can focus and grow and expand, and you are not doing that on your own and then coming home and y'all are tearing it apart, where you can never make gains because you're making gains and then being held back, and making gains and being held back. The same is true for him. He goes off and he's an Adidas sponsored athlete and he's doing his softball. He calls home and you're like, "Yay, go baby, go."
Right.
Having to deal with you. Why are you on the road again? What, are there girls there? What hotel are you at?
Right.
How come you never spend time with me? If you did that to him, do you think he would operate as well and distraction free in his environment if he's got to worry about his home life?
Right. No, and all we would do is fight.
That alone, that one little thing, it's not like moving mountains. It's just little things like that.
Right.
It can really elevate y'all as a couple to get so much further ahead than the guy next door who's having to deal with that. And that's going on all over the world.
You're absolutely right. And I think really, if you look at the core of that, it's trust and communication.
Yeah.
You really have to trust your partner, and you have to communicate with your partner in order for you to both be successful and be successful together. Because if you don't trust each other, like I know you and Grant do, you trust each other. You've got a lot on your plate, and I love what you call yourself. You are the CFO, but it's not what everyone thinks it stands for. I love it. Chief Family Officer. And I'm going to take on that title because I love that. You are the chief family officer. And on top of the fact that you are a businesswoman, you're an author, you're a powerhouse, and you inspire other women. But at the same time, you are a mother and you are a wife, and you always put that first. And I love that. I absolutely love that about you. I do the same thing. And so I know when you are around a group of like-minded people, you succeed. And that brings me to the topic of the 10X conference. So the 10X conference is starting on Friday, and it's not too late to get your tickets. And okay, Elena, let's talk about it. I know you want me on that plane to Miami, and I want to jump on it so bad. And I know after my husband listens to this podcast, he's going to say, "Baby, why aren't you already packing?" So I want you to tell everyone about 10X and why we should take time to be there this weekend on Super Bowl weekend. Why should we come to Miami?
Well, first of all, the 10X Growth Conference is 30,000+ entrepreneurs from around the world. It's an amazing opportunity to network and be around other like-minded individuals who understand your drive and vigor and passion for life, and who are not going to think you are crazy for being obsessed with doing what you love and putting your passions out there to share it with the world. You will be amongst family who will support you in getting to the next level and want you to push yourself to the next level. So we've brought in some tremendous speakers, from Steve Harvey to Bethany Frankel, Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, Jessley Isler, her husband speaking, the shark, Damon John. So all of these people are coming there to impart wisdoms upon you, to give you real applicable data that you can leave there on Monday morning and actually apply to your business to increase revenue and income. This isn't just a feel good, motivational, rah, 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 we feel good. And you get to the office on Monday and you still can't pick up a phone call and know what to do.
Right.
You're going to actually leave with real skills, with a real family-based people that you will have met that potentially could be your friend or your client for life. And I promise it's going to be an epic event. It is the largest entrepreneurial event to ever be held in the world. So you will be part of history when you attend this event. And there's just a lot of surprises there. And I encourage anyone that can make it to do so. After day one, when the Growth Con ends day one, I am hosting a ladies only event right there on the property. This is for the ladies only. And I have had so many men begging me allowances. They want to go to this ladies event. Why do they want to go to this ladies event? Because there are good guys out there looking for 10x women to help them and be a team and really get what they're trying to do, and vice versa. So they want to meet all these 10x women, but they're not allowed. That's for us to talk privately without our spouses, to say, what's going on? There's going to be a Q&A. I'm going to answer questions. We're going to take photos. And most importantly, we're going to network it with each other, because this is an extremely powerful group of women who are interested in empowering other women. And we're all there for that same common purpose. So I hope that is enough to sell you, because it's going to be incredible.
I know. And I've already bought my plane ticket to Miami. So all I have to do is grab that ticket to the conference, and I'm there. And if I can talk my husband, which it doesn't take a lot to talk him into it, he'll do whatever I ask. If I can get him, because he's in Orlando right now, get him to drive down to Miami and meet me, I think together this would be a powerhouse, really a powerhouse gathering for us, because we'll both be able to network. And I truly value his opinion in what I'm doing as well. So I appreciate that.
It's a perfect place to come with your spouse to really get on the same page and really start thinking in terms of how you can grow. My segment, of course, is just going to be on the empire, but it gives you an opportunity to really think as a couple, operate as a couple. What are the couple's goals? What do y'all want to achieve together? And really get on the same page going forward on how you can expand your empire and really live up to your purpose and your potential. It's a great place to come with a spouse.
I love that, Elena. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on the show today, because I know that you have really inspired a lot of followers to create their own empires, and you're still gaining followers to do that. And the women so appreciate that, because it's something to look at someone that has already created or is in a journey of creating, and we're always in a journey, right? Yep. Of the kind of lifestyle that you want. And the only way that you can do that is to really follow and be a part of some type of mentorship of women that do that. I've always said, and I say it in my book, that you are the result of the 5 closest people you surround yourself with. And if you are the sum of those 5 people and they are not on the same path as you, it's really hard to go any further. Because don't you agree?
It's an uphill battle with weights. And when you're trying to build an empire, in the beginning, especially when you're in that sacrifice phase, unfortunately, you're also in a little bit of a selfish phase. And if you've got to cut people out of your life that aren't boosting you up the hill and helping you, then that's what you have to do in sacrifice phase. Because if you can't even help yourself, you definitely can't help your partner. You can't help your community. Once you get up to the top, then you can help others. And that's hopefully what I'm doing now. I'm only exposing my life for that one reason. It's to help people either learn from my failures or learn from what I've done successfully. And as you said, I'm on the journey. I haven't hit my targets yet, but I am of a place now where enough people could perceive that I have quote unquote made it, or at least gotten to and over the halfway mark, to where they could say, okay, I'm going to trust that statistic. Let me see what she's doing and check it out.
Exactly. Well, you definitely have. You are living, you're living beyond. And I love that, because I don't think anybody should settle for average. I don't think anybody should settle for average. You should set up for your goals and your dreams. My 18-year-old son, I actually told him to start following Grant Cardone. And I will tell you, this kid is amazing. He gets up every morning and does day trading. Who does that at 18? He's still in high school. He gets up and he day trades on penny stocks that he learned from following Tim Sykes. And we know Tim Sykes is one of the biggest penny traders in the world. And he learned from him. And now he's following Grant because he says, Mom, I really want to invest in Cardone Capital. And I said, this kid has got his mind. He's following people at 18 that are twice his age, 3 times his age, that have succeeded because I told him that he has to surround himself, even if it's not in the physical, with people that are going to help him grow and become more than average. And it's mindset. It's mindset. And I appreciate you for doing that for women. I try to do that every day. Living in the lifestyle that I have. And I know a lot of people know my story, and you and I haven't talked about it before, but in 2007, when I lost my 17-year-old in a car accident, that's when my life really took a turn. And, Elena, I could really sit there and be in a state of depression, which, I'll admit I was for a period of time. Until I realized that there were other women out there suffering like me. And I didn't have anyone that had ever lost a child. I didn't know anyone that had buried a child. And Bryant and I were very, very close. He was an awesome kid, 4.2 grade point average, all-star athlete, most attractive of his senior class, everything going for him. And I lost him. And it was to a point to where I felt like I lost part of my heart, until I realized that I need to be there for other people because I can't let other mothers suffer like me. And then when you start helping other women like you have in your arena, when you start helping other women grow and begin to heal and become more than their adversity, it actually heals you and helps you grow.
Gosh, you're giving me chills right now.
Oh, it's true. It is so true. And, and that's what I try to inspire women. That's, when I get on a stage and I speak, my goal is to inspire women. I don't care what your adversity is. I've been divorced. I've lost a child. I buried my dad just in July. I've watched him go through a stroke and suffer. I've buried my grandparents. I've been through bankruptcy, girl. I've been through it all. And I came out on the other end of it. And I want to inspire women. It doesn't matter what your adversity is. You can overcome that and be the best that you can be and truly live your best life and create the life that you want. But you have to surround yourself with like-minded women. And I would say start following Elena Cardone. If you really want to build and empower, then why wouldn't you follow someone that's already doing it, that's already succeeded in it? If you want to, start a business, why wouldn't you follow someone that's successful in a business? We wouldn't go to a training coach that was 400 pounds if we wanted to lose weight.
Right.
So you want to be able to follow those people. And I appreciate you. I just want you to know that I appreciate you. You inspire me. And I get fired up talking to you because I'm just passionate like you are about what we're doing and what we're doing for women and how we're trying to really build our own empires as well in the process.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate you too and all that you've been through and all that you're doing. And it's been really an honor to be here with you today and your audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And guys, before we go, I just want to remind you that the 10X conference starts Friday morning. So it's not too late. Elena, tell everyone where we can get our tickets.
You go to 10xgrowthcon.com for your tickets for 10X Growth Con. It's February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd from 9 to 5 each day. And if they want to read the book, you can go to elenacardone.com/empire. So we've got those two things going right now.
Excellent. And then where can we follow you on Instagram?
On Instagram and all socials, I'm at Elena Cardone.
Excellent, guys. So make sure you're following Elena on Instagram. And if you haven't started following me already, it is Empowerment is Beauty. And until next week, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Real Girl Talk, where we're going to have really powerful speakers to really help you create the life that you want. And remember to keep your encouragement tank full every single day, your faith in God, and step out of your comfort zone and do something that you've never tried before. And I will see you right here on Real Girl Talk next week.